It's been almost a month since I've started my full-time content creation journey, so I thought it'd be fun to check in, see how it's going, letting you guys know, as well as a fun announcement of a upcoming Subathon long stream, so stay tuned. Hello, kamusta, salam, hola, dizin, dobry. I don't know, someone tried to tell me that's from Poland. I haven't gotten that one down. But welcome everybody. This is Luke, of course, on my channel, Luke Plays Earn. And if you don't know my story, essentially what happened is back in December, I decided, hey, I'm going to transition out of my job. I was a youth pastor at a local church in my area. And unrelated to content creation, I just felt like it was time to move on. I have a different vision for church moving ahead with house churches and all this stuff. And if you want to ask me more questions, you can hit me up on Discord, all those good things. But essentially, to summarize that, I'm stepping out of my job at the end of December. And January, I said, hey, you know what? This channel is in a decent spot. You know, I started it just as a hobby when I had time off on work in September and October. And I was like, hey, you know, it's kind of going somewhere. You know, we've hit, 4,000 subs just in, what is this, month 4 or 5 now here. And so that's pretty exciting. And so, my wife has a decent job. She's a school counselor and she has at least a job to pay the bills. So it was kind of one of those things where like, hey, if I'm going to try it, this is the time. We're going to be okay either way. And maybe we can kind of launch this as a business, see where it goes, not just play to earn and, live off the earnings of these games, because it's not really sustainable at my levels. But, with the YouTube videos, with the Zen Sports partnership, with maybe blogging, other stuff in crypto, can I make enough to at least, bring something to my family where it's not like I'm doing absolutely nothing? It's one thing if this is a hobby and, it makes $100 a month. It's a whole nother thing if I'm saying, hey, wife, this is my business. This is the way I'm going to be contributing to our family, and it makes $100 a month. There's a big difference for me as like trying to make this into a business. So it's been almost a month, at the end of January, it'll be a month. And I've said, hey, January and February, I have 2 months to really see where this is going to go. From there, I'm going to start thinking about, do I need to find other jobs? Do I need to look for at least something part-time and do this more as a part-time business? But for 2 months, I'm going to hit the ground running full-time and see where this sucker goes. So I wanted to do a short check-in just so as the community, you guys can know where this thing is headed, how's it going, and how maybe you can help if you would, be so kind to do so. So really in a YouTube business, maybe there's more that I haven't learned about. I'm still trying to learn how to grow YouTube business. It's always been a hobby for me. But really, I would say the main 3 ways to earn and make a living, right, are 1, ad revenue. So your YouTube videos, they can make ad revenue. 2 would be from partnerships or paid promotions, things like I'm doing with Zen Sports, or if other companies wanted to jump in. And then 3, support from the community, whether that's they want to give tips or be members of the channel or buy merch, things like that. Again, there might be more opportunities, but as far as I know, those are the 3 main ways. So first off, let's just look at the YouTube channel health itself. We can see that we're not doing too bad. If we look at our views, we spiked up 20% compared to the previous month, which sounds good, but honestly, I was hoping for a little bit more. And I think part of that is because I'm doing more content. I was like, oh, if I'm in December, only, doing this a couple hours a week versus I'm going to be working on this 40, 50 hours a week, I would expect, maybe, a double or triple amount of the views or the engagement. And while I think there's been more eventually, and again, this hasn't been a full month, so it's not a direct comparison quite yet. I think part of the problem here, you can see just views in general are down on a lot of individual videos compared to where they were almost, let's see, like 2 months ago. Just an average video, even if it didn't have a ton of content, or maybe it did, but I wasn't expecting it to do like super well. I was just like, hey, I'm going to put out a quicker content video. Now you can still see, around, 2,000 to 4,000 views when this game was at the height for Splinterlands. Now you can see they kind of trailed off. There's a couple of videos that done really well, but other than that, most of the views are now somewhere in the 1,000 to 1,500 per video. And there might be a multitude of reasons, maybe some of the content just hasn't been as good. And I've been trying new things, branching out a little bit here and there and just trying to experiment as we go. But I think honestly, a lot of it is just the crypto market being down. People lose interest in crypto when these play to earn games start making less, and there's less Splinterland accounts, playing each day right now. And 2 months ago, people are like, yeah, I can rent into gold and I can make $5 a day if I just grind it out in these rentals. Well, that's not true anymore. Now most people are playing, if they are still grinding it out at bronze or maybe trying to rent into silver, you're maybe making, 20 to 30 cents at most in DEC. So I think there's just less interest in the market overall. So even though I feel like I'm doing more content and still doing well, it's just like views and engagement are down in general because I think less people are interested in play to earn and in Splinterlands right now. So that's one area that's a little bit of a bummer, but hey, we're still climbing subscribers. We hit 4,000 this month, so we can celebrate that next month. We're hitting that next goal, I believe, that I set out in the last sub celebration, which was 2,500 for the 5K. I think we can actually hit that in February, maybe do some giveaways. So there's stuff to celebrate there. But as you can see, the YouTube revenue is actually pretty similar to last month and really didn't go up. Let's see what puts it. It doesn't put it up here, but about the same as last month. So really, you can see that I think even though I was like, hey, we can maybe make more because I'm doing more content, doing more streams, all those things, really things across the YouTube channel have really stayed the same because I feel like I'm putting in more effort and raising things up, but then the market is down and the interest level is down. So there's that I'm wrestling with and trying to figure out what do I do about that. And part of that is, I'm experimenting with other games, doing top 5 lists because, Splinterlands, it's still my favorite game. Maybe you're wondering, you're seeing these other videos, you're like, Luke, is you're just not excited about Splinterlands anymore? What's going on? No, it's just like that Splinterlands as a whole, I think, is going to be part of the ecosystem. But if I really want to, make this into a business and grow, that I might need to branch out and keep Splinterlands as one of my main games. But, I don't think people really want 50 hours of Splinterlands content anyways. The average person's going to maybe watch my Splinterlands content for an hour or two a week. So, I think it makes sense to try and experiment and branch out a little bit, see how it goes, and maybe expand our viewership and our subscriptions and all that just a little bit bigger so that it can help the business grow, which helps me to, again, still make more Splinterlands content because it's still my favorite game. And then over here, we can look at, this is our channel memberships through DonorBox. The reason why I'm using DonorBox, if you don't know this, is YouTube takes a big chunk out of super chats and memberships. And so it just feels bad to ask you guys, hey, give monthly if you can. And, 30-40% of that is going to YouTube, doesn't ever really even go to support me and the channel itself. Whereas DonorBox is really just a couple percent for processing and all of that. So, I put this out there, not really knowing what to expect. My eventual thought and goal is like, hey, if we can get enough members, even though we're, focusing on the Krill community, there's probably not that many people that have anything to give monthly. But hey, if a few people can do it, and eventually over a few months we can hit the $500 goal, that might be enough to say, hey, I can actually keep doing this full time. Of course, I never expected this month 1 to get anywhere close to our goal, but, I was hoping for maybe if we can get like 10 or so members just to kick things off. Thank you to the 3 that have done it so far, but it's again been a lot slower than I originally thought it would be. And part of that is, I haven't been maybe talking about it too much, or I don't know, I'm still trying to feel it out. I don't want to be one of those people that is just constantly in your face like, hey, give me money because, I want to help people. I want to give value, and I only want people to give in return if they can and if they are finding value. So maybe, you can argue I need to talk about it a little bit more. I don't know. I'm still feeling it out. I'm trying to keep it in perspective as well as, hey, if you contribute to this community, it's actually to the community because the video and content, all this stuff, I want to be helpful. I want the community to give value to each other as well and interact with each other. So I'm trying to look at less like, hey, give money to me because I need it, and more of like, hey, if you want to support the Krill community, if you want the Krills to grow together, this is a way you can do it if possible. So one idea I have, and we're going to do this next Monday, January 21st, or if you're on, the eastern side of the world, it might be Tuesday, Tuesday morning for you. But I'm going to be doing an 8-hour subathon stream. And I know it's not subs because we're not on Twitch, so it's more of a membership, but a memberthon kind of sounds not as cool. So I like the ring of subathon. We're going to do an 8-hour stream on Monday, 9 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for me, which for UTC would be, 5 p.m. to, I believe, midnight. So hopefully it gets a stream that everyone can join in and see. And this is kind of like maybe our last push in the month to see, hey, can we get more members? Can we get more tips donated? Can we get more things donated for giveaways so we can do more giveaways on the channel, which helps with promoting the channel more so. And we'll see. I want to do fun things like, hey, if we get 3 more members, maybe I write a crazy song. If I, get 10 more members, maybe some, horrible hot sauce or something, you guys can watch me suffer. I don't know what we can do. I'm going to come up with some fun things. I'll be posting it on Twitter and all of that stuff leading up to Monday. And we'll see. Maybe this is a chance that we can get a final month push to get more members, to get more tips, and see if we can keep this going so that I don't have to move to part-time again. Again, of course, I realize that I'm really helping out Krill's small investors, so I don't expect many of you guys to be able to do that, to give monthly or tips or add to the giveaway pile in Splinterlands. But, even if you just show up to view and support, that means a lot to me as well. Then, of course, we do have our Zen Sports partnership, which is honestly the only reason that I can even attempt to do this full-time. If there wasn't that, I'm not going to disclose what they're paying me or not because that's their information. But honestly, without it, I've said it before in the tournament streams, in the videos, the paid promotion videos, where I, have their logo down on the bottom and talk about Zen Sports. Honestly, if it wasn't for their support, there's no way I'd even attempt to do this full time. So while that's helpful, I can't rely on them as my only source. Essentially, the way that paid promotion and partnerships and sponsorships work on YouTube is that the goal is, they're giving you, some money or resources or whatever it is. And as a content creator, you're trying to provide value for them. You're essentially helping them market their product, their game, their vision, whatever it is. For me, I love the esports side of Zen Sports. So I'm even running tournaments for them and trying to get engagement that way. And this is a great way, but at the same time, as I said, I can't just solely rely on this forever. And I also, have been reached out to by other potential projects. But, some of those are in the works. Some of those are still pretty small, and I don't know really what's going to come out of them. Then the other option would be to, run paid promotion for games and take some money or NFTs for playing these games and say, hey, I'll play the game if you give me, X amount of money. But there's a couple of reasons I don't want to do that or fully do that in that way. And that's because I really want to provide value for people watching these videos. I don't want to be out there shilling games just because they're paying me to play their game. If I want to promote a game, I want to be able to review it honestly and not have the bias of, hey, they're paying me, so I need to say good things. I want to give you guys open and honest reviews because I know a lot of you guys are putting money into these games, even as a krill, putting in small investments that mean a lot to you. And so I don't want to mislead you or give you wrong information or, give a false opinion because I'm being persuaded by it. So the way I've been approaching that is saying, hey, if you're reaching out to me on these games and your projects, I'm going to give an honest review first without payment, without anything. And then if I actually like the project, if I want to keep playing the game and bring it to the community because I think it has value and will give value to the community, then we can talk about free NFTs or paid promotion or something like that. But at first I gotta feel like I gotta give out my honest review of the games first. So I have been, declining or not getting as many maybe as I could be because I don't want to ruin that aspect, the honesty and the integrity of the channel. So if there are other good projects, whether it's in the crypto space or play to earn games themselves, maybe there are other opportunities that I am still working on or just haven't, fully seen, or maybe, I need to pursue some myself. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out. It's hard. It's a weird thing that as a YouTube business, I haven't had to deal with before because it was just a hobby. And, it's such an interesting thing to try to figure out, and we'll see where it goes from here. So how do I feel about the channel overall? Well, it's kind of mixed. I feel like the numbers are growing, subs are growing, and more community engagement. Here in February, we're going to open up the Discord to everyone on the public space. So not just for members, but anyone can join. And I think that will be fun because we can do more community events and help one another out really in that Discord as well. And we got the Subathon next week to see, do we get some more potential tips or support? I don't know. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, there's good things here that I'm celebrating, but it's not as quite of a good as I would hoped for. So we'll see if, end of January with the Subathon, maybe through February, we can get some more things going and I can figure out more of this to keep it going. And by the end of February, I'll let you guys know, like, hey, am I going to continue to do this full time and provide streams and videos almost every day? Or am I going to have to go to part time and find, at least a, 20-hour job or something like that? And I realize some of you guys from other countries, I don't really know your situations, but some of you guys might be thinking, hey, like even just the YouTube ad revenue, $200 a month, that's pretty incredible. Well, realize I know I'm privileged for living in the United States and I'm very grateful for the things I do have, but realize for at least my situation, rent and just food alone is almost $2,000 a month in the area that I live in. So expenses are also high, even though, the amount of money that I can make also seems high. So, I'm battling between that as well. And just so you know, if you are a krill and you don't have much to give, but hey, you want to pour into this community and help me out as much as possible, well, then you can always look at my videos here and you can go to different things like the Peaked blog if you want to upvote certain blogs I do. That helps get me, some more crypto to pour back into the channel and into the game. There is the channel membership. There is a option for fiat tips here in Stream Elements, and there is also a crypto tip. So maybe if you don't have fiat, but you have some crypto that you want to donate to the channel and to the community, there's lots of option through the 1UP coin, which will go to my wallets. And then some of you guys have requested in the comments that now you can also tip here. I have verified with Brave. So if you want to go to the main page, you can also, if you use the Brave browser, you can also set up to just donate a weekly or monthly amount of the BAT token if you'd like to. So that's the update for now. Overall, I would say in conclusion, there are some good things that I'm celebrating. There are some hard things that I'm just trying to figure out and do for the first time. And I'm excited to see how February goes. Hopefully it's good enough because I love to keep going full time, bringing you guys great content, bringing you guys streams to hang out in, and really help the krills of this world play to earn. And one day, as we say, become those minnows or become those whales. So we'll see where it all goes. Thank you guys either way. If you can donate, if you can just watch and give your time, sub, be in streams, all those things are amazing and incredible. And I'm just so thankful that you are part of this community in general. So for now, peace out, pa'alam, adios, and I'll see you guys in future videos.